Okay, guys, I'm going to try and do this without any edits today. That's my goal because it takes a long time to make edits. Hit play here. So this is an example of a finished product here. I have created a spiral animation. It loops over and over again. And I have also made this little background groove, hip-hop beat, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what to call them yet. Okay. That's the final product, people. So I split that up over like 10 weeks. What's funny is that I realized I did so many examples is that what's funny is that I've done this so many times now. It's actually a pretty quick process if you think about it. So we're going to go and we're going to make an animation first. And then we're going to, with Pascal app, we're going to make a groove like this with Tutle.Audio, but using a template that I'm going to put on this little video. And then we're going to combine those two things using this Kapwing website. So we're going to begin with a Pascal animation. Sign in using whatever Google login you prefer. I'm going to click on Create Sprite. And I'm also going to make things fit better here. I think that's okay. I'm going to hide this and make sure I'm recording this. Beautiful. I'm not going to get into a lot of the technical stuff with Pascal. I'm just going to make an animation and hope that you can follow along here. This is kind of a big overview for students, teachers, and whoever else wants to watch or make looping animations that sync up with music. To begin, we need to take our frames per second. So every second, we're going to make this play 9 frames. 9 frames. I'm also going to turn on onion skin, toggle onion skin on. Okay, it should be yellow. If it's white or gray, it's off. Turn that on. Next thing I'm going to do is go to the resize option. We're going to resize this. It's a little easier to work with if it is 64 by 64 pixels. So I don't have my keyboard here. Once you type in 64, and as long as it says maintain aspect ratio, you will not have to click 64 twice. You do have to click on the word resize, the button that will physically resize it. Now, this shouldn't be a big rush, right? But we are in a rush because it's the end of the year, and you are the type of student like me that procrastinates. So welcome to the club. I'm going to use a animation of my initials here. So my first name is Chris. I'm going to do an animation that is CZ. First, I want to pick a color. So I'm going to click on this little black swatch. And I'll choose a bluish color, Seeking Blue here. Go CDM. Now, notice that when I click on this band, it just gave me the blue swatches, and it's still selecting black. So I have to come up here and select some kind of minty, what is it called? Columbia blue. Columbia blue. Okay, I now have a Columbia blue kind of thing selected. Probably more like that. I'm using the pencil tool, pen tool. Pen, I guess. Although it seems more like a pencil, I gotta be honest. You may use a 1, 2, or 3 frame. You may use a 1, 2, or 3 pixel size pencil stroke, pen stroke, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to do 2. I'm using a tablet, so I can kind of do this signature. This is somewhat what my initials look like on a signature. Try it again. I think I'm going to use a fatter stroke here, pen size. First one is kind of the most important one because this will inform. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Boom. Okay, perfect. I have drawn frame number 1. We now need to save this. If you're like me, your animation is called New Pascal, and it has a little asterisk at the end here. Okay, we need to save this. The asterisk, just like Photoshop, just like any other Adobe app, means that you have not saved your changes yet. So we're going to go to this thing called Save. It's an old school floppy disk on the right-hand side and the toolbar on the right. Name it. I'm going to call this Sig Z. And I'm going to save it to my gallery. If you would like people to view it later, when you're finished with it online here, you don't have to, but because you're going to end up downloading it for the assignment that we're doing. But you can check public here. It's okay. Save to gallery. Then we will see it says Sig Z, and the asterisk goes away. Okay, let's make a new frame here. So we have one frame. I'm going to click on the Add New Frame. And notice, because I have onion skin turned on, I can see an overlay or an underlay of the last frame. If I click on Toggle Onion Skin, that will go away. I want the onion skin on. I want you to have some practice with onion skin here. So we're going to make some sort of wiggle animation of CZ just getting crazy. All right, I am on frame 2. And I'm just going to simply try and trace this, but don't actually trace it. Like, unless you are perfectly steady hand, you're not going to perfectly trace it. So I'm just going to give myself some freedom here and one thing I'm noticing is that this cross here that you put across the Z, it's very close to the C. So one of my goals throughout the animation is to kind of spread that out a little bit. You might want to think now, well, where am I going to go? Am I going to make things bigger, smaller, wiggle, jiggle? Let's add a new frame. So we are not duplicating the frame. Okay, we did that once. Don't do that. Add new frame. So now I'm going to kind of shorten this. And come up a little bit with the Z and just kind of give it more air to breathe. One of the things you're hearing in the background is my ceiling fan. Speaking of air. It's crazy. I'm on frame 4. Ooh, look. It shows a preview of the animation as we go. And if you have a flickering thing happening, you see that flicker there? That means there's an empty frame. Well, yeah, of course, Z-Barth, you just made a new frame. Okay, let's keep going. For all you teachers, there is a visual art standard somewhere that asks teachers to encourage students to make an unplanned work of art. This definitely covers that standard because I really didn't have a plan, but start animating some lines. I happened to pick a signature, but that's about as much planning as I did there. Oh my gosh, we are 1/3 of the way there. I love math. Let's add a new frame. If I didn't know math, I wouldn't know how far along I was in the building of this 12-frame animation here. You're also hearing birds chirping in the background. Yeah, they're kind of like, they're just grooving. Nope, don't duplicate, add a new frame. It's very tempting to duplicate. In some situations, we would want to duplicate. Ooh, I'm going to start getting really kind of weird now. Now I'm going to make some bigger changes. So you'll see these changes happening. It will almost be like the animation is moving faster because the changes between frames is greater. So we'll have a weird feeling of at first it wiggles kind of slow, but then it's going to go whoosh, kind of whip. You'll see what I mean. So the changes I'm going to make now are much greater than I was doing before. And this little C is going to get really kind of small here. And I think the Z will get really big. Because Because let's face it, you know, in the grand scheme of comparing two letters, the Z just, I don't know, it's just visually more interesting. It has more variety. It's more angular. C is cool, but you know, for me, I was born in 1979, so there's a lot of people my age named Chris. So I usually try and now it's just like going off the frame here. So look, it's like kind of like boom, it's kind of popping right there. And I want it to pop at the end because when the audio loops, it'll be a bigger difference here. All right, I know I'm kind of going slow here. Let me. Who says you can't change some of the like width of things? Look, I'll just make this Z. That's like going to be much more dense. Oh. Boom. Frame 9. I only got 3 more to go. I'll make a smaller thing for the C. I mean, the C is almost going to disappear. The Z is going to be like, oh. Ooh, and I'm noticing from my onion skin that I didn't make a cross on the last one, so I'm going to fix that. Oh my gosh. E for eraser. I think it's P for pen. I'm going to go to this frame, and we are going to make the cross. It's getting really junky now, guys. I'm getting kind of... I've done this a lot, so don't go as fast as I am going right now. You know, I've already basically made this lesson once, twice, I don't know. It's like the Z is just going to take over. Okay. Add a new frame. Please don't duplicate your frames. It's so tempting. Yeah, don't do it. So in an effort to make things faster here, I'm going to kind of do this brushy thing. I don't know. I mean, use the other tools too. There's lots of fun tools. This is just pure. This is just getting ugly, right? So look, I only have 1 more frame to go. The next frame, look, I'm just going to, it's going to be junky. It's going to start throwing in some junk here. Boom, boom. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. So now for this one, much easier, much more efficient. Let's make a new frame. Last frame is 12. And I'm going to, oh my gosh. Oh, paint bucket. That's right. Paint bucket. Boom. Just fill in the whole dang thing. Then I'll just chunk out some with the eraser tool. I don't know. So it's just like, you know, I love this animation. It's popping, it's locking, it's rocking. It's Betty Crocken. Another thing I should have told you from the beginning is that this preview window, you have the ability to go full size to make it bigger. So that's like showing you the whole 64 by 64 thing. I should have been working like that from the start because I would have gotten a lot more visual feedback there. Ooh, 12 frames. Am I done, Mr. Z? No. You see this checkerboard back here? That's bad. Let's add another color. That's good. So I'm going to click here on the blue color. I don't know. Let's just do gray. Gray is awesome. I'll go back to frame 1, and we'll use the paint bucket tool to fill in. So I shouldn't use gray, though, because you guys aren't going to see it as well. So I need to use something more obvious. We'll do it like a mustard. I love mustard. The color, the condiment. Whew. I don't know. You can even use the arrow tool here to make it go by quicker. No? Can you? No, you can't. Boom. Oh, whoops. I deleted the frame instead. That was dumb. That was silly, I should say. I have to get my... I really got to watch what I say, because you start saying dumb or stupid, and then the next thing you know, your little kindergartner is saying dumb and stupid. You hear them playing outside. Oh my gosh. It's a walkie-talkie. Oh, look. Frame 8, because I'm going to turn off onion skin for this. Like, there's like a transparent area. So if there's these cut off areas, you have to go in there and kind of manually add color to it. I'm missing some spots here. Little pixels. Pixel art, man, that's crazy. Oh, wait, sorry. Oh, whoops. Control Z, Command Z, Command Z. Boom. I have some gray spots missing. I'm going to keep moving for your guys' sake. We now need to save our changes and download this file. Go to the save button here. It's a little floppy disk. I'm going to save it to my gallery. In that same toolbar on the right, I will go to what looks like a mountain with a sun or a moon, depending on if you're feeling bright or dark, happy or sad, half glass full, half glass empty. You do need to scale it. If you don't scale it, your animation will only be this big. You want it to be bigger, like high def. Please, please, when you go to export, scale it at least 18 times. And now I'm going to download it as an animated GIF. And if you're in Chrome, I don't know how the other one works, it will download it and you'll see it. Excuse me. Ooh, headphones all day. Oh, my ears are like, they need to be like stretched out. Look, it has downloaded that GIF. That is now in my downloads folder. We're going to go back to that later. Now I will show you the finished Tutle.Audio. So we're moving on to the next step. How long did that take? 18 minutes. Whew. Okay, let's keep going. Here is the finished Tutle.Audio. This is one example. Turn the synth up. Look at me make these changes here. That's the attack. Sustain. So what these are referring to is how long each like little sound is played for, the beginning or the end. Okay. This video is going to assume that you have already made the Tutle.Audio. So I will put a link. I'm not going to remake the whole Tutle.Audio right now. You should have already made this. There's another video. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. This is something that we've done a lot now, and I hope that you are slightly more confident in it. But it is in the week 9 that we build this thing and mix it down. So week 9 and week 8, I think. Oh, except I'm supposed to be doing this for teachers too. I changed my mind. I'm going to do it. Okay. So I'm going to go to the provided template. Let me describe the template for a second. I have to use this pan, the hand thing, to move around so you can see the whole screen at once, pretty much. But in Tutle.Audio, essentially, I'm going to use this white arrow. This little black dot represents a turtle. We are controlling the movement of that turtle. I like to think of the turtle as one of those like old-timey chime things where you wind it up. It has little pegs on it, and as the pegs go across, it hits these little things like. Okay, it's kind of how this app works. So I have already programmed in a few things here. I have programmed in the traditional hip hop beat, which is both, well, either a snare and or a clap on the 5th and 13th step of a 16-step line or sequence or beat or whatever you want to call it. Let's hit play so we just hear what we. So I have a snare and a clap. Okay. I also have a melodic element here. This is the note. That's a C note. Let me show you that a little better. Square. Boom. Okay. Let's start building up our beat here. Really, with the hip hop beat, the only rule is having that 5 and 13, the 5th and the 13th step. These lines are 16 steps long. So this moves to the right once, and then it keeps moving 15 more steps. This is Python code. I'm not going to get into this right now. I'm going to use my white arrow. I've selected my kick. So now I need to go to the paint option here. We're going to paint in some notes. Let me stretch this out a bit. There we go. I'm going to find a kick to put on this line. And the only rule with the kick, look, house kick 3. The only rule with the kick is that I'm not going to put it on the 5th or the 13th steps. So I'm just going to paint in 2 there. 1, 1, 2. Sure, let's listen to it. And you can play it and add things. Oh, I'm looking at myself in the mirror. You can play it and add things. I could take things away just by painting on it again. Okay, that's kind of cool. You could guess. You can add whatever else you want here too. Don't go too crazy. You know, don't go too wild. E hit 2. I'm going to lay this down on these open spaces. So normally you would have like a different track for these kinds of instruments, but I'm just going to keep it a 4-track groove. Let's do a unts, 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 unts. So I need to find a hat. House hat 2. I'm going to put that on the 3rd. This is the 5th, 6, 7, 8. No. There we go. So I have it on the 3rd, 7th, 11, and 15. 3, 7, 11, 15. I don't know, what else? House hat open would have worked for that too. I don't know. I think that's mostly enough for that line too. I'll go to the clap. I'm actually going to take off the first clap. So you hear the big difference there in that clap. It's kind of cool. Let's get that clap again. Sure. I'm going to move on to the next line, which is our melodic element, this big square. This represents 4 bars of music. So this one line of 16 steps is 1 bar of music. This would be considered a phrase. Oh, I forget. I'm not a musician. So every time this loops 4 times, this loops once. Okay. I had to stop that because I'm getting kind of tired of it. We have a solution for the loopiness of it all later. Now, move this over a bit. Let me move this. Let me move this over. Okay. I have to move myself too. Okay. When I click on the melodic one, notice when I have kick selected, that is a drum. If I go to select this square is a synth, okay? And when I go to the paint options, I'm going to move things around here. Now when I go to paint, this is now a traditional piano keyboard. These are the black notes up top, the black keys up top, the sharps and whatnot. And these would be the white keys. And if you have your window stretched out more, you don't have these ones hanging there. Now for this, I have programmed a C note at the very beginning and an F note here. So to make things simple, and you can do this however you want, but I'm going to start just with some C's and some F's. There's a D. Oh, that was good. That was really good. Okay. Minimal. It's pretty minimal, but you can add more. I'm going to add more. Let's find an F. So here's the same kind of F. You could also hold Shift on the keyboard and then click on, I think. If you stop it. Dang, I thought you could do that. Huh. Never mind. Let's keep going. There's a way to preview the sounds. Oh, F. Okay, I put that F. Let's find a lower F. This is a octave down. There you go. That would have been cool. Oh, no. Okay, that actually doesn't sound good. Yeah, I don't know why. It's just like, it made me cringe. Oh, I feel like I'm getting closer. So play around with it. Put some headphones on. I have no idea. I'm going to keep going. No. I don't know. It's okay. No. So just an awesome tool to try out stuff. That was really cool. I'm going to get rid of these two. Okay, my poor neighbors, right? They have to listen to the song over and over and over again. It's a 4-bar loop, and it's kind of cool at first. And I made it, so I especially think it's cool. But for my listeners out there, it gets repetitive. So now we're going to fix that problem. We need to create a mixdown of this, and you might want to save your work too while we're here. To save your work in this app, you bookmark it. So down here, you can create a URL. There's also a trash can. I'm not even going to hover over that. Do not click on trash can. That will delete everything. There's no undo. Create URL. If I copy this, then I can get back to it later. So that's good. Move this window down. So now we're going to mix this down. Now, if I just hit play, it just plays it in the... I remember I now have to move this up. Back again, sorry. If I hit play, it just plays it. And you can practice a performance too. So let me practice something really quick. I'm going to turn everything off except for the kick track. Okay. What does that mean, turn it off? Well, I'm going to click on this track. go to the sound tab. I need my white arrow. There we go. Turn the volume down. Volume. Go to the snare track. Turn that volume down. The clap track. So now if I hit play, and I can let this go. 2, 2, 3, 4, 3. I'll turn on the clap. 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, and go. Let that go once or twice. Turn the snare on. Go to my melody. This is where, yeah, I like that. I don't know. I'm gonna turn it down. This is where you have to do a mix, okay? So you could like fade this in by just kind of clicking up. It's a little louder. You can use a different type of oscillator or octave. You can't even hear that without headphones right now, probably. Do a lower octave. Listen. I really like just that little part right there. Okay. So how do we record it, Mr. Z? Let's go back, and I am going to mute things again. Oh, no. I'm starting with the kick. Mute my snare. And I'm going to mute my clap. Now I will hit record. Also, make sure it's 90 BPM. If you're using one of your Tutle.Audios from one of the weeks where we did a dance groove, it was at 120 BPM. You can just turn that down to 90. It will not line up with the animation if you don't do so. I'm going to click record. I'm going to get ready. Select snare, turn this up. I'm going to go to clap, turn this up. Let this go all the way around, and I'm going to turn my melody up. Kind of slowly, though. I'm just going to let this play. I want this to be at least 45 seconds long. Let's change the octave. That's cool. I can make the notes play really short. Or long. That's cool. If I hit stop, stop. I don't know, that's kind of cool. Oh, whoops. Okay, notice, people, I have two things now down here. I have a GIF in my downloads folder. I have a WAV file in my downloads folder. We are almost done. Let's go to the last website. Kapwing! Move me over. Make this smaller. Log in using your favorite Google login. When you first go to Kapwing, you are presented with this workspace thing. Click on New Project. This is going to go kind of quick. Start with Studio. Just choose the first one. I don't even know what those other ones do. You must begin. The easiest way to begin is to add your GIF first. So if you don't have it down here in the Chrome window, it is in your Downloads folder. I'll let you figure out how to find that. One way would be to, well, yeah, I like to just grab it from here. So I'm going to grab my GIF and click and drag. Kaboom. I mean, kapwing. Oh, that's terrible. Now that I've loaded this, I'm going to click on Audio. Upload audio. Look, here is my Tutle.Audio wave. I'm going to click and drag this. I can hit play to preview it. You can actually control when the loop happens, right? So right now, so it's like, whenever it does that, No, I accidentally clicked on that. So I'm going to pause it. You can actually tell it to start at a different time, the audio. And what's cool about that is if you just scooch this over, just a little tiny scooch. Well, I don't know what that is, 14th of a second. Now I'll hit play. So now it loops at a different part. That is really cool. Make this early though. You know, ideally it would start on the snare. Let's see. I don't know. I don't care. It's fine. It's synced though. Click done. We are almost done with the year and whatnot. Click publish. Kapwing, your watermark-free content is being processed. This takes a minute or so. It like tells you what it's doing. It's kind of nerdy if you're into code. Spinning up 32 work. I saw something about writing frames. That sounds cool. Okay, creating an audio video. Oh, okay. Oh, good. Nice. Getting the size right. I like that. Videos found. Good. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Thank goodness. Also, download from here too. If you click on download, it downloads an MP4 file. This file is not named right. Okay, so this is where we are going to talk about renaming things. I'm going to click here, say show in my Finder or show in Explorer, I think, on your PC. So it's called Final. You have to right click on this. And I'm going to call this, I'm going to rename it, and you're going to use your name. So my name is Chris. I'm going to capitalize that. Final. You know, call it that. That's so much more informative. I'll be able to find it easier later. That's it. So there was our quarantine learning. I hope you enjoyed that. And there's also a Google form to fill out if you're in my class. Tell me how the year went. And I wish you guys luck. And I can't wait to see what you guys are doing. Watch my birds out here. There's like a bird catching insects out here. He's dive bombing. Now there's like a pack of butterflies attacking him. So, okay. Abraham Lincoln, what'd you think? Yeah. Me too.